Peace. This is King Noble, Supremacy.com. And with this particular video, I want to talk about how KNBS is taking black power out of the matrix. Because you have black supremacy and you have the matrix of black power. Let me show you some distinctions. A lot of times people within the so-called black power movement are always talking about the problems and the issues with the black community, the issues with black people, the issues with white supremacy, the struggle, the strife, the history. That's pretty much their focus, pretty much their conversation. That's the matrix of black power. It's not about us actually coming into power or them embracing any individual who is the embodiment of power, who is the manifestation of power. It's not about that. It's about the problems. It's about putting an overemphasis on the problem, putting an over concern on the issues. That's more of what it's about. It's not about us waking up to actual black supremacy and moving into the position of power. We can't even stomach that. So we have to take black power out of the matrix and actually begin to see, begin to visualize, begin to identify, realize and realize blacks actually coming completely and totally into power. That's what the King Noble Black Supremacy movement is about. It's about black rulership. It's about coming into that position of actual power where we create our own destinies. We make the rules. We decide what is going to manifest in our lives, the collective or consensus reality of people who can actually come to that position. See, a lot of the black power movement is not about actually coming to that actual position. It's a thing far off. It's like the rabbit chasing the carrot at the end of the stick. They're not actually embracing coming into that position. They got a whole bunch of excuses. We need to, have a military. We need to have an armed struggle against white supremacy. We need to totally, end this system in order for us to come into power. And all that's not necessarily true, because even to do those things, you actually would have to come into power right now. You have to come into the realization of power to even get to step 2. If you don't have the power to get to the next step, it'll never happen. So you have to actualize some degree and some level of black power, and you also have to be able to embrace and stomach that. You have to stomach what actual black power looks like, what black sovereignty looks like, what black freedom looks like, what black liberation actually looks like. And you have to really digest that. And you really have to embrace that. It's not all just about the problems and the dilemmas and the issues and our crime, our complaining, the gentrification and the genocide. It's also about us actually seizing power and manifesting that now. Really, really, really moving into that. So the whole matrix of black power it's a loop. You cannot get out. It's just a simulated reality of the contemplation and the articulation of problems. But people are actually really scared to move in or do what is necessary to obtain power. Malcolm said freedom by any means necessary. We know we need power in order to actually obtain freedom. Are we at that necessary point individualistically? We hide behind groups and sensationalism and group goals and group objectives, and we hide behind organizations, but are we individually at the total conscious realizing point of actually stepping into power and seizing power in this present moment? KNBS is taking black power out of the matrix. Join my website, www.kingnobleBlackSupremacy.com.